My daughter has cancer. The husband's family advised me to give up the treatment. Adopt a nephew. I even blocked the resuscitation and pulled out my daughter's oxygen tube. I'm not sure how much it costs to stay in the ICU for a day, but I'd rather use it to buy Lego for Joey. Girls are considered disposable. Pull out the tube before it is too late to die. I look calm. Pull out. Pull out quickly. This child I long ago do not want. Because I knew the hospital had reversed the report card. It was my nephew who had cancer. The one lying in the emergency room is also my nephew. Sister-in-law brought my nephew to the city to see a doctor. It was a time of viral outbreak. So I made an appointment for the whole family to have a full body checkup. But while my nephew was fine, my daughter was diagnosed with cancer. I looked at the medical report and shivered. My husband and I had been married for 5 years and were infertile. Emily was the child I took countless pills and shots to conceive. She was God's gift to me. My life. I've only had her briefly for 5 years and am about to lose her. I held back my emotions and waited to support my 2 children before I couldn't help but cry out. Ryan, my husband, who had rushed over, was horrified by me. He grabbed the report card. What's wrong, wife? Is there something wrong with the test results of Joe? Joe is my nephew's name. Thinking it's about my nephew. Grandma and sister-in-law both got nervous. Just know how to cry. Why don't you say something? I shook my head. It's not Joe. It's Emily. It's Emily who has cancer. I broke down and looked at Ryan helplessly. Honey, we're going to be okay with Emily, right? Seeing that it wasn't their nephews. Grandma and sister-in-law sighed with undetectable relief, and their expressions began to be subtle. Grandma gave a look, and Ryan, who had just said nothing, seemed to understand. Cancer. The cure rate is less than 50%. Honey, is this still necessary to cure? I looked at Ryan incredulously. What do you mean? Perhaps realizing that he was out of line, Ryan softened his stance and tried to be persuasive. Sarah, I am also thinking about our family. Look, we can't afford the treatment without $300,000. And even if we survive, it's still a ticking time bomb. And if it explodes, we'll lose all our money. We're not even 30 yet. So it's more cost-effective to have a boy rather than keep such a bottomless pit. Grandma's eyes lit up at the mention of a boy. Then she shot Ryan a look of feigned anger. You really don't know how to care for your wife. You can't let Sarah walk through the ghost gate again. Ryan echoed. Yes. 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 It's my fault for not thinking carefully. Then let's pass it on to Joe. He's a good boy. And he's a member of the Gao family. So he'll surely honor us in the future. Grandma is all smiles. Then it's a deal. It's important to cultivate a relationship before it's too late. In that case, when Emily dies, let Joe change his name and move in with you. It's bad luck for a girl to die young. But a boy is masculine. So it's a good way to get rid of your bad luck. The two of them hit it off right away. Every cloud has a silver lining. The two of them were singing in unison, as if they were discussing some happy event. I blew up. You guys are full of shit. My daughter is alive and well. I pointed at Ryan. Emily is sick and you don't give a shit. But you're thinking of inheriting someone else's child? She's your daughter. Are you a human being? Ryan was so righteous. Sarah. It's because Emily is my daughter that I'm giving up the treatment. Emily is so afraid of pain. You're willing to let her endure the pain of chemotherapy and surgery. But I'm not. People laugh when they are speechless. You say you can't let her go through the treatment. But you want her to die? Listen to yourself. Is this human language? Sarah. Calm down. How can I calm down? I'm telling you. Emily is my daughter. They'll sell the house my parents left behind and they'll see her through to the end. If you don't pay for it, Emily will have nothing to do with you from now on. Upon hearing that I want to sell the house, all three of them got anxious. Grandma, how can that be? If you sell the house, where will Ching Ching and Yao Zhu live? I was confused. I'm selling Mom and Dad's house. What's it got to do with sister-in-law and nephew? Claire hurriedly pulled Grandma's hand, and Grandma hurriedly stopped her mouth. Before I could react, Claire started accusing me. Sister-in-law, you can't be so selfish. Mom's poor health costs money. Yao's schooling costs money. And such a large family is counting on you on. You can't just think about your own daughter. Ryan chimed in with a disappointed look. Sarah, if you can't do it with the big picture in mind, we'll have to get a divorce. I can see the point. All that talk about looking out for the best interests of the family. But in the end, it's all about the only nephew. I think it's not true that I'm just trying to get rid of him. But it's true that I'm just trying to get rid of my property. When Mom and Dad passed away, they left me a penthouse. I thought I shouldn't hide anything between husband and wife. So I told them everything without reservation. In the weekdays in-laws need help. I also contribute money and effort. No complaints. I didn't realize that I was raising a tiger. I asked Ryan, if it was Ethan who had cancer, would you still be saying this? Sure enough. Ryan went ballistic. Sarah Hui. Who gave you permission to curse you, Joe? Why are you so vicious? I'm so disappointed. Thinking back to the beginning, Ryan had promised me verbally that he would definitely put me first after the marriage and would never make things difficult for me in my in-laws' home. That's why I brought a whole lot of passion. Despite my parents' opposition, and married thousands of miles away in the north. Even my parents died without having the chance to see the last time. It's only been 7 short years. And everything has changed. I swallowed the bitterness inside. The house must be sold. And the disease must be cured. Divorce is divorce. I sue Sarah does not need such a vicious husband. Emily does not need such a hypocritical father. Ryan gritted his teeth. Okay. They'll see you at City Hall at 8 o'clock the day after tomorrow. I stopped talking and left with my daughter in my arms. My parents are gone. And my daughter is my only family in the world. Apart from her, I can do without anything. In the past 7 years, I have wholeheartedly treated everyone in this family as my relatives. It would be a lie to say that I am not sad. But I don't have time to grieve. My daughter still needs to rely on me. After placing Emily at a friend's house, I drove to hit the house that Mom and Dad left me. I just wanted to sell the house as soon as possible so that I could pay for my daughter's surgery. At first, Mom and Dad told me to hide the real estate certificate of this house. Now that I think about it, maybe my parents had already seen through Ryan's behavior and were planning for my daughter. But who would have thought that they still miscalculated? When I arrived, I realized that the house, which had been vacant for many years, was full of life. Personal clothes were scattered all over the place, stretching all the way to the master bedroom. And that blue tie was the one I had given Ryan for his birthday a while back. How dare he go behind my back and live in my house with another woman? And I would never have guessed in a million years that that woman would be her. Ryan lies on the bed with an insatiable look on his face. Listen to her blow. Her parents are dead. Where can she go if she's divorced? Don't worry. After dragging that little bastard to death and getting the bitch's house, they'll divorce and marry you. Woman muttered. No matter how to say is your own daughter. Dead you do not hurt. That bitch gave birth to a bastard. Dead is also clean. Our Yao Zhu is the pure blood of the Gao family. If we want to feel sorry for her, it's you and your mother who should feel sorry for her. With that, Ryan pressed down on her and gave her another round of hand jobs. Little leprechaun, brother will love you well. I was trembling. How could I not think of my husband's derailment object? Will be his sister. My nephew, whom I have loved for many years, is actually the illegitimate son of my husband and sister-in-law. At this moment, those moments that I had overlooked became extraordinarily clear. Claire and I were pregnant at almost the same time. My husband brought Claire to live with him in the city on the pretext that my sister-in-law, whom I had never met, had died in a car accident. I pitied her for being widowed at such a young age, and I provided her with an extra supply of everything she needed for her mother and her newborn. Who knew that after Claire moved in, the whole family would revolve around her? Not only did I become a marginalized person, but every time I went to the maternity clinic, the doctor thought Ryan was Claire's husband. At that time, I was blind and thought Ryan only cared about his sister. Even if I was dissatisfied, I only lightly dismissed it. But I didn't realize that on the day I went into labor, the delivery room was empty. I struggled for a day and a night until Emily was born, and Ryan and Grandma never showed up. I later found out that sister-in-law had also started that day. My wonderful husband was in Claire's labor room with me while I was in excruciating pain. Grandma was holding her nephew in her arms as I hemorrhaged and was dying. I was devastated and filed for divorce. And Ryan reluctantly sent Claire and my nephew back to the country. Ryan and I didn't get along until Emily was older. Over the years, he was more concerned than anyone else about his nephew's little ailments. Whenever Ethan bullied Emily, Ryan would lift him up and let him down. I put up with it all for the sake of family harmony. But I could never have imagined that the reason behind all this was because Ethan was his own son. Sarah, what are you doing here? Grandma called me nervously. The two of us in the room were like birds of a feather. Ryan hurriedly got dressed and ran out to pull me out. Honey, what are you doing here? I dodged his hand. If I didn't come, how would I know that you siblings are messing around and taking over the nest? Claire got her tail stepped on and rushed towards me. Sarah, don't speak too harshly. I directly slapped her. You've done such disgusting things. And you're still afraid of people speaking harshly? Claire screamed and cried. You've married in. Of course this house is the Gao family's house. Why can't we live here? Besides, I'm a childhood friend of Brother Yuan's. So you're the third party that's interfering. It's because I don't want Brother Yuan to be in trouble. Even if Emily's blood is impure. As long as you're willing to live in peace, the Gao family is still willing to give you mother and daughter a bite to eat. I'm so sorry. I backhanded another slap. Your son is the inbred bastard who spreads soybeans in a sesame seed field. Pro-brother and sister screwing around. Aren't you afraid of retribution on your son? Ryan was enraged. Slapped me. Sarah Hui. Who gave you the guts to curse my son thrice? Don't forget it's your daughter who got cancer. Blame your own dirty blood for giving birth to a scourge. If you have time to make a scene here, why don't you go and pick out a proper burial plot for your little bastard? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. In the 21st century, there are still families that honor the incest to keep their bloodline pure. I've lived in such a disgusting den of tigers and wolves for the past 7 years and didn't even realize it. I don't want to tangle with these people any longer for a second. Get a divorce. Get a divorce right now. Wait. Grandma stopped me. You can get a divorce. But you have to leave with nothing. And the house has to be transferred to Yuzu's name. Or else you can't get a divorce. I can't believe it. Are you guys still shameless? Your son is the one who cheated on me. And your son is also the one who incest me. If I sue for divorce, he should be the one to leave with nothing. Ryan. Okay. The lawsuit has to go through the process. And there is still a cooling-off period for divorce. We can afford it. But can your daughter afford it? By that time, I'm afraid that the bones of those 3 tails will be rotting somewhere. Right? Grandma's face is proud of herself. My son is very powerful. And look at me. No afraid of it? Now go to the transfer formalities. My son can still consider letting you 2 live. They have taken my shortcomings. And are sure that I will be soft. Claire looked like she had won the battle. Pretending to sympathize. Sister-in-law. Honestly, I feel a bit sorry for you. Mom and Dad's bones are not yet cold. And the daughter is also dying. How can we live in the future? The guilt on Ryan's face is fleeting. Emily and I were father and daughter for at least one time. When she dies, I will take the whole family to her grave to offer incense. Your father's incense. I felt all the blood in my body rushing to the top of my head. But I didn't have time to have a seizure. I got a call from the hospital. I'm sorry. MS. Sue. Our trainee doctor had a momentary oversight and reversed the results of the medical checkups of Emily Gao and Ethan. What? I pinched myself hard, fearing that I was hallucinating. The doctor on the phone continued. The result shows that the one who has cancer is Ethan. Please bring your child to the hospital for a checkup again. We are willing to bear all the expenses. I am really sorry. I was overcome with great joy. I was still wondering how Emily could have a genetic disease when Ryan and I were in good health. But it all made sense when put in the context of Ethan, who was born to a close relative. No wonder. No wonder Ethan was developmentally delayed. Well below the level of a normal child in every way. And to this day can't even speak. I really thought that this was what the family called a nobleman's delayed speech. I was suddenly curious. If they knew that it was their precious son who had cancer, how would they react? I stabilized my emotions from showing and was just about to answer. Claire snatched my cell phone and smashed it hard on the floor. Don't think I can't see that you're pretending to answer the phone to stall for time. Now. Immediately. Go and get the transfer done right now. Do you hear me? I looked at their villainous looks and just felt ridiculous and laughable. Don't even think about it. People are not good enough to eat snakes. You'll get what's coming to you. Claire raised her palm. You. At that moment, Ryan's cell phone rang. It was from the kindergarten. It's not good, Mr. Gao. Your baby has a sudden emergency and is being rescued in the hospital. The baby needs a blood transfusion urgently. Please hurry to the first doctor. Ryan didn't react for a moment, as if he was thinking about which child the teacher was talking about. It was Claire who was the first to burst out laughing. Sue Sarah. Sue Sarah. I told you to be cheap. Now your mouth is backfiring on your own daughter. Isn't it? But my daughter is not sick. Naturally she will not have an attack, much less be sent for resuscitation. I laughed. How can you be so sure that it is my daughter who is in the hospital? Not your son? Ryan slapped me. Bitch. How dare you curse Yao Zhu? You don't understand the word sudden emergency. Do you? You're still talking when you're dying. Okay. Let's go to the hospital together and see who's in trouble. The 3 of them rushed to the hospital with gloating faces. Because of too much confidence. So the doctor asked who is the child's parents. The 3 pointed to me. Doctor. The child is in urgent need of a blood transfusion. But because Rh-negative blood is special, the hospital does not have blood in stock. The hospital does not have any blood in stock due to the special Rh-negative blood. It is difficult for the blood station to transfer blood during inclement weather. Ryan seems to think of something and pulls the doctor back. Wait. You said the baby is Rh negative? That's our baby's blood type. Can't it be true that it's? He asked Claire anxiously, but was interrupted. Yuan. That little bastard has the same blood type. Remember? Besides, our child has just had a medical checkup. He is in good health. Why would he have a sudden emergency? She emphasized the last 4 words, dispelling Ryan's last shred of doubt. I couldn't help but sneer. 2 idiots. Why don't you guys even ask who the hell is lying in there? In that case, don't blame me. I turned on my phone recording and dropped my ass to the floor. Start the show. Honey, my cell phone is broken. Hurry up and contact the blood donation group. Don't delay the baby's surgery. When I first thought about Emila's special blood type, I put Ryan in the blood donation group just in case. Now I'm pretending that my cell phone is broken. So naturally the only person who can contact the blood donors is Ryan. How could he pass up such a great opportunity to threaten me? Ryan leaned down. As long as you are willing to leave with nothing and transfer all your properties to my name, I will mercifully help you to get in touch. I yelled. Don't even think about it. That's my parents' legacy. They'll never give it up to you and mistress. Ryan was furious. He opened the blood drive right in front of me and clicked out 3 times. Then don't blame me for slipping. Don't. I broke down and cried like a poor mother driven to desperation. Even the doctor couldn't look at me, comforting me that the hospital was already contacting blood donors and telling me to hang in there. The corners of my mouth hooked up imperceptibly. I would naturally hang in there. How could I allow myself to miss out on the drama of a biological patricide? Ryan. The good part was still to come. At the door of the operating room, the doctor came running out saying the baby wasn't going to make it. That's when the paramedics happened to arrive with a blood supply. Grandma is in a hurry. She's really waiting for this girl. What are we going to do? Ryan said. They can save her if they want to. If they save her, she'll still be hanging on by a thread. So she won't live long. Claire stomped her foot. Yuan. You're confused. Let's not talk about the cost of the operation. What if we go to the ICU? Which is a money-burning place. Don't forget that you're not divorced yet. And the child's treatment costs are to be borne by both husband and wife. She viciously said. This little bastard. Might as well die in the operating room clean. The 3 of them looked at each other and then rushed forward to stop the doctor in a heartbeat. Ryan. Slow down. We're not saving it. The child is suffering from a terminal disease. It's a living hell even if it's saved. A father can't bear to see his child suffer. We won't treat him. Doctor. There is still a good chance that the child can be cured. Get out of the way. The child is still waiting for a blood source to save his life. No matter how much the doctor tried to persuade them, the 3 of them just didn't move. Grandma even lay down directly in front of the door of the operating room and started to throw a tantrum. How can cancer be cured? You black-hearted doctors are just trying to cheat us common people out of our money. If you want to cure it, unless you cross over my wife's corpse. I cried out and pounced on her. Mom, what are you saying? That's your own grandson in there. Ryan's own son. Claire grabbed me by the hair and pulled me back. You bitch. You can make up anything you want. She flashed a badly worn school card, pointed to the class number 1 on it and said, I just picked this up in front of the operating room. See? My son is in class 7. And that little bastard of yours is in class 1. So you don't even make up your mind. The doctor was in a frenzy. This is medical malpractice. You will be held legally responsible. Get out of my way. Ryan. We are the child's family and have the right to decide whether the child lives or dies. It's not your turn to tell us what to do. One of them blocked the road. One blocked the doctor, and one went to grab the transportation box in the doctor's hand. I closed my eyes and fainted. It was so close. I almost had to stop them. That's when security finally arrived. But it was too late. Claire had already slammed the transport case on the floor. I don't know whether to say Ethan's life was good or bad. The case was destroyed, but the blood supply was saved and the surgery was completed without incident. Ethan was admitted to the ICU, but not yet out of danger. The purpose was not achieved. And every day to spend a huge amount of money to renew the life of a baby girl. How can the three people be willing? Claire is particularly upset. The cost of staying in the ICU is several $1,000s a day. So they might as well use it to buy Lego for you, Chow. Grandma agrees. A girl's life is cheap. Pull out the tube before it's too late and die. I was still pretending to be dizzy when I heard the word extubation. My blood boiled all over. I can't imagine how wonderful it will be when they find out that it's their own precious son or grandson that they want to kill. Ryan and Claire urge Grandma to pull the tube. Ethan faints and falls off a high platform, injuring his face badly. Wrapped in bandages and wearing a ventilator to the hospital bed. Not to mention who. Even the male and female cannot be seen. Grandma didn't recognize him and went up to take off his ventilator. I was struggling like crazy inside. This family is determined to put my Emily to death. It's really vicious. Watching them kill the only child on their mind was a real treat. But Ethan, as obnoxious as he was only a 4 or 5-year-old and not guilty of anything. In the end, my reasoning overcame my impulses and I stepped forward to stop them. But I really underestimated the determination of these three to get my daughter killed. Quick! Stop this bitch! Seeing me trying to stop them, Claire and Ryan rushed up and tackled me down. Their eyes were filled with madness. I struggled desperately. Look who's in the bed. Ryan covered my mouth for fear that my cries for help would lead to the doctor. Grandma pulled out the tubes as quickly as she could. They really didn't want to let my daughter go at all. At that moment, the only shred of weakness I had for Ethan vanished into thin air. I gave up struggling and blurred my voice. Ryan, Claire, you're going to regret this. A long time later, the heart rate monitor pulls a straight line and emits a long, dripping beep. The three of them give a triumphant look of relief. Claire grinned like a demon. Bitch. How does it feel to watch your daughter die in front of you? Ryan's face is sinister. If you had behaved yourself earlier, there wouldn't have been so much trouble. And Emily wouldn't have died so quickly. Sarah Sue, you are the murderer of your own daughter. I seemed to have been poked and prodded the point of laughter. Lowered my head and laughed silently. At that moment, my phone rang. The affinity number on the screen Ryan couldn't be more familiar with, as it was none other than Emily's phone watch calling. Ryan, what's going on here? This can't be. I picked up the phone at his puzzled look. Mommy, it's been a long time since school ended. Why haven't you come to pick me up? Emily's tender childish voice rang out in the ward. The doubt on the faces of the three gradually turned to fear. Grandma, the little bitch isn't dead. And that's on the bed. At that moment, the doctor rushes in. Patient Ethan in bed 3 is in cardiac arrest. Perform CPR immediately. Upon hearing this, the three of them were like a bolt from the blue. They froze in place. Grandma was the first to react, breaking down and screaming, "Good grandson! How could it be my grandson? What the hell is going on? My grandson!" She screams and leans back, fainting. Claire froze in disbelief, mumbling, "No way. It can't be my son. It's not possible." Ryan didn't believe it either. He violently lifted the covers and the birthmark on Ethan's chest completely shattered their last flicker of hope. Ryan slapped Claire hard across the face. You stupid bastard who can't even recognize his own son. I'll beat you to death. Claire covers her face, blinded for a moment before hitting back. You still have the nerve to talk about me. This is your own son too. How could you not recognize him? How could you not recognize it? But she couldn't resist Ryan vigorously after all, and was beaten all over the place. Suddenly, she climbed up, picked up a chair and smashed it at me. It's you. You killed my son. It was you. You knew it was Yojo in the operating room. Didn't you? You ruthless woman. I'll kill you. I took out my cell phone and played the recording of the party. Full of innocence. I said, I've told you guys 800 times. The one who got sick is Ethan. And the one who developed the disease is also Ethan. But you just don't believe me. What can I do? Ryan's eyes were scarlet. He rushed up to me like crazy and choked me to death. You're the one who killed my son. I'll kill you. Why isn't your daughter the one who died? I want you all to bury Yuzu with him. The doctor rushed to call the security guards and subdued the two. I gave each of them a hard slap. Who killed Ethan? Don't you have any idea? If you had even the slightest bit of compassion for my Emily, you wouldn't have killed him. You all deserve what you got. I looked at Ethan, half dead on the bed, and was terrified. Just thinking about it. If Emily was the one who got sick, if Emily was the one who was killed by them, it would drive me crazy. Ethan, you're to blame for being born into such a cannibalistic family. In the end, Ethan was successfully resuscitated, but suffered irreversible brain damage. His intelligence was below normal, but now he can hardly take care of himself. Claire, Ryan and Grandma were taken away by the police. Grandma took all the blame and was sentenced to 3 years. Since there was no surveillance in the ward, Claire and Ryan could only be dealt with as disturbing the medical order and detained for 10 days. In the meantime, I found a buyer and sold the penthouse. Ryan and Claire came out of the detention center in disgrace, and found that the nest had also been taken out. They had a lot of anger in their stomachs, and were worried that they had no outlet for it. They simply smashed the lock with a stick, entered the house and smashed it, ruining the new decoration of the house. Ryan pointed to the homeowner's sister's nose and cursed. This is my wife's house. That is my house. I'm smashing my own house. Even if the police come, what can they do to me? The homeowner's sister was not to be trifled with. Without saying a word, she called the police and sued them for willful destruction of property. And she slapped the real estate license in Ryan's face. Open your eyes wide and see whose house this is. In this way, the duo not only silk-slipped to jail again, but also will face hundreds of thousands of dollars of high compensation. Ryan panicked. This is my wife's house. She's illegally occupying another person's home. You've got the wrong person. She's the one who should be in jail. I dumped the collected evidence and the divorce agreement in front of Ryan. You're the one who's illegally occupying someone else's property. Not only is the house not yours, but now the wife isn't yours. I filed divorce proceedings against Ryan. Not only will he have to leave with nothing, he'll be facing jail time. He was left with nothing. I left C-Town with my daughter and went back to my hometown. After 7 years, I returned to the home I had lived in for more than 20 years. Unfortunately, my parents are no longer there. Looking at the family photo, I cannot help but weep. My daughter hugged me. Mom, don't cry. You still have me. Yes, I still have my daughter. As long as there are family members around. It's home. It was 5 years later that I heard from Ryan and Claire again. According to the previous neighbors, Ryan abandoned Claire and his wife when he got out of prison. After all, how could a man as honorable as he be able to accept that his son had become a low-minded, self-caring capable loser? This society is still very tolerant of men. Soon, Ryan cleansed himself as the poor man who was frustrated in his marriage. With that not bad face, he made a name for himself among the women. Claire, on the other hand, was soon boiled down to a scruffy yellow face by a stretched life and a child who pooped and peed every day. She had adored Ryan all her life, and it was hard for her to squeeze me out. So how could she allow the title of Mrs. Gao to fall into someone else's hands? So she threatened Ryan with the recording of him urging Grandma to pull out the oxygen tube and blocking me from calling for help. He was successfully kidnapped back home. How could Ryan, who had enjoyed his freedom and pursuit, still feel comfortable living with her? The two of them had a small fight a day, a big fight in 3 days, and took it out on Ethan whenever they had a bad day. The days are filled with chaos. And that's not the worst part. The most suffocating thing is that Claire has given birth to a second child. Since the big one is useless, let's have a small one. With a healthy child of pure blood, Ryan's heart would surely come back to her. Yes. They still think that Ethan's mental retardation is due to the original brain injury, not inbreeding. Once again, reality has taught them a lesson. The second son had more obvious symptoms than Ethan. Now Ryan balks, arguing that it's Claire's genetically inferior genes that prevented her from having a normal child. The two blamed each other and eventually shrugged it off, leaving behind 2 children who couldn't take care of themselves and running away. If not for the landlord's visit to check the electrical circuit, the 2 children nearly starved to death at home. I was a bit saddened. I did not expect the 2 people would end up like this. If it wasn't for this phone call from my neighbor, maybe I would have never heard from Ryan again in my life. I hung up the phone and got ready to pick up Emily from school. Suddenly I remembered my neighbor's last words. Ryan had left C-Town and was headed south. My heart tightened and I suddenly had a bad feeling. When I arrived at the school, the entrance was crowded with people. Emily was being pestered and pulled by a homeless man with a knife. And that hobo was none other than Ryan. Emily, baby girl, it's me. It's Daddy. Daddy misses you. Will you go back with Daddy? After Ryan got into gambling and got into debt, he finally remembered he had a daughter. After asking around, he found out that I had gone back to the South and was doing quite well. So he thought, as long as he controls his daughter, he controls me. Then his debts and gambling money would be taken care of. Be good. Go with Dad. Take Dad to your mom. Our family will never be separated again. Okay? Emily laughed coldly. At first you thought I had cancer. Forced my mom to give up treatment. And even wanted to kill me alive. Now you come to talk to me about family. Don't you think it's ridiculous? What? Is your incest daughter-in-law treating you badly? Or is your stupid son not filial to you? Ryan's eyes are dark, and his voice is filled with suppressed anger. Did that bitch say something to you? Don't believe in this nonsense. I am your own father. How could I harm you? Ryan waved his dagger wildly, almost cutting Emily's neck. There was a gasp from the crowd, and the security guards and enthusiasts dared not make a move. I was on the verge of collapse. As if Emily sensed my presence, she looked up and gave me a look that reassured me. Emily was about to be taken over by Ryan. She kicked Ryan's knife with a precision kick. Then with a sweeping leg kick, she knocked Ryan to the ground. The crowd swarmed over Ryan and quickly got him under control. Emily looked down at Ryan and said calmly, 3 years ago, I was just a kid, giving you guys a chance to hurt me. But now, you'll never touch me again. Ryan's struggles, Emily. Daddy didn't mean to hurt you. Emily. Sirens blaring. Emily. Save those words for explaining to the police. I rushed up and hugged Emily, crying uncontrollably. Kid sister calmly patted me. Emily. Come on. MS. Sue. I've been studying Taekwondo for 5 years. For you to do that. You're questioning my ability. Ryan was quickly brought under police control. He was still struggling to come at us. His face is hideous. Hysterical. They'll kill you. They'll kill you. The next moment, he lost his voice. It was Claire. She came out of the crowd, stabbed Ryan with a knife. I've only had her briefly for 5 years and am about to lose her? Claire. Well, since you're so inseparable, I'm going to kill you both, so you can be reunited in hell. Claire finished stabbing Ryan and came at us again. Thankfully, she was also quickly controlled by the police. Ryan died of blood loss. Claire also went to jail for homicide and abandonment. Emily and I cooperated to make a statement and came out from the police station. Emily excitedly showed me the trick she just used to subdue Ryan. I felt helpless about her lack of heart. I warned her not to risk her life when she meets a bad guy in the future. The kid said solemnly, MS. Hui. I am telling you that I, Emily Hui, have the ability to protect myself. And I also have the ability to protect you. Mom. Don't be afraid. It's going to be a good day from now on. It's going to be a good day from now on.